Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm so happy y'all are here. I see some names popping up already. So welcome. All right, you guys. Let me turn my phone off because it's linked to my. There we go. All right, there is a little clicking noise, Angie. Let me get my camera, you guys. Something's a little funky on my camera. 1 second. Let's see. Nope. All right, one more second, girls. Okay, there we go. All right, good morning and happy Saturday, you guys. I am so excited. Y'all qualified for our pre-link event today with National Sales Director Angie Locke. Yay! Hey, good morning. I see Nikki. I see Luke Johnson's name. I see Maria Shirley's name. All right, let me give everybody just one more sec to hop on. Okay, and Angie, I'm gonna mute you, and then when you're talking, I'll mute me. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys. Happy Saturday. Is everybody ready for Christmas? How fun. All right, let me give everybody just a sec, girls. Like letting everybody just log on very quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and start. This is streaming into the Low Director Facebook group, just in case you guys need it again. But welcome to YouTube this morning. I love that y'all can watch the playback too. So y'all say hey when you're here, and welcome. So fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started and introduce my girlfriend here, Miss Angie Locke. Angie signed her agreement in November 2009. Oh, hey, Michelle. Okay, good. I'm glad Luke is Michelle. Okay, got it. Yay, Nikki. Of course you are. All right. So Angie signed her agreement in November 2009 to help her friend earn a car. She debuted as a car driving sales director in September 2010. And 9 months later, her unit debuted as a pink Cadillac unit. Y'all, 9 months. Y'all, her accolades blow my mind. She has earned 5 cars in her career, 2 the pearl pink Cadillac and 2 pink Escalades. Angie left her career as an RN and began to build her business full-time in 2012. In her 4.5 years as a sales director, she finished the $350,000 Circle of Excellence and a 2-time trip sales director. In 2014, she was ranked the #1 director in the state of North Carolina. Angie earned the prestigious National Sales Director appointment position in 2015 and earned her spot on the Wall of Fame in Dallas. To date, her highest commission check is over $23,658. She has traveled Mary Kay style with Jonathan, her hunk of hubby, to Hawaii, Spain, Portugal, England, Rome. She has cruised the south of France and Italy. And our next trip, we have no idea where we're going, actually. We are impatiently all waiting, right? Angie's passion for working her business is to help women design their one life and give her son a legacy. Angie is married to Dr. Jonathan Locke, who encouraged her to begin her Mary Kay business, and they welcomed their miracle baby boy, Ashton, in October. Her current Mary Kay goal is to debut as a new Diamond Circle area with 20 new debuting unlocked directors at Seminar 2021. So y'all give a big woohoo to my girl, Angie Locke, this morning. All right, let me unmute you. Angie, you want to say good morning?
Oh, good morning, Holly. Good morning. You guys have to excuse me. I have a 7-week-old, and I was like, Holly, I don't have a full face on. I have done the hydrogel eye patches, so just y'all have to excuse me. I'm so excited to be with you in your area, though, Holly. So Holly has been my girl crush. My first seminar was when the Low area debuted, so I got to see Holly debut. She didn't know who I was, but I was taking it in. So that was a seminar where I was in DIQ. And I got to see, thank God, I want to say to you ladies, thank God for you wanting to be a national, Holly. Thank God for you and your girls for, getting it done. Because had you not debuted, I would never have had that vision. And then the career conference stage, I think it was 2 or 3 years later, you came to Charlotte.
Yes.
And you brought it. And here was my takeaway: money and honey. Money and honey. And I just remember hearing her, and I had 3 consultants with me, and they all decided to step into directorship after hearing Holly.
No.
I mean, it was just amazing. So I feel very honored to be here today, even though I'm not looking my best.
You are, girl. You are looking so good. Nikki was like 7 weeks old and looking fabulous, honey.
Congratulations to you ladies that earned being here. And, you know, it says something about being on here at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. You know, it says I'm hungry. I'm excited to be with my national. I'm excited to be with my girlfriends. I'm excited to start my Saturday and this Christmas week with my Mary Kay family. And so it's not just you know, earning that 300 wholesale. Some of you just crave this time, and don't we all right now crave connection? You know, I've done so many more Zooms, and I've got to be honest, I've got my pajama pants on underneath this, and I like it. I do like it.
Somebody said that about the Christmas tree, like, oh, it looking good on the front, but in the back, it's kind of scary. I'm like, who cares what the back of your hair looks like?
Exactly.
Who cares what you have on the bottom?
I didn't have to do much to my hair this morning, and so that was a good thing. I just feel honored to be here, and I would not have said yes had it not been for your national. And she's coming to spend time with the Unlocked and the Vision area. My senior, Kristen Myers, she is coming to bless our people in January, and oh my gosh, like I cannot wait to hug her. Your energy, your energy, Holly. Oh my gosh, it's like, you know, when you speak. When you walk into a room, people feel your presence, and when you speak and you share, it's so heartfelt. And I just am grateful to know you. Grateful to know you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You made my whole week today, so thank you for that. You're so precious. I love you so much too, Angie, and I'm so excited to have you on today. Thank you for saying yes, y'all. This light is being weird today. Okay. Thank you for saying yes, because I know it's a lot in the morning with a newborn. Oh, my goodness. So my first question, we're going to do Q&A today. I'm going to mute you real quick while I'm talking because it's crackling or something. Can y'all hear that little crackling noise or something, y'all? I don't know if it's me. You can a little? Okay. I don't know what is going on. Okay. So, Angie, my question is, why did you start your business? What was the reason that you said yes? What was kind of your background with Mary Kay? So give me just the brief on that real quick.
Okay. So I was in nursing school, and I was waiting tables, and a girlfriend of mine became a Mary Kay consultant. And so at 19, I had my first Mary Kay party. That's when I started using the skincare. I had several girlfriends over the course of 10 years become consultants, but I never did. And I'm going to tell you why. I was pursuing a career in nursing. My former career was RN. And I had in my mind to climb the corporate ladder. I didn't know the glass ceiling was broken. I didn't know that. I didn't grow up in an entrepreneurial home. And I really just saw that my girlfriends were pretty girls playing in makeup. And that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Like, really, one of my girlfriends was like, you've got to learn how to pluck your eyebrows. You think I'm kidding? I need to show you a picture. Like, they had to help me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it was really funny. Fast forward when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do Mary Kay, and they were like, you what? What?
What do you say?
And not only did I do the daggum thing, I'm gonna drive a pink car and do the daggum thing too.
I love it. Awesome. Okay, Angie. So after you said yes, you were a consultant, and you and I were talking yesterday, and you said, I didn't recruit anybody for my first minute of being a consultant. No. What was the shift for you mentally from not recruiting to recruiting? Because we have some girls on here who maybe this is their first or second time around, or and they're ready to move to the next level. So tell me about that.
So remember I said my first Mary Kay party was at 19. I did not become a consultant until I was 32. Now, there's a gap there. So I was pursuing corporate, and 11 years ago, my girlfriend had a goal. However, she had told me that she was on target to earn her first car, and I agreed to go meet her director to save her. I felt like she was being taken advantage of. I also wanted to meet this Kristen Myers person. How many of y'all know Kristen Myers? Okay, so that's my Mary Kay mama. Because Joanne was very vulnerable with me, and that stood out to me, and she was really happy. And so I went and I said yes to the Mary Kay opportunity. However, I wanted to see if it was real. First of all, I wanted to see if I can make money. Now, when I say that, I followed everything that my director said for me to do. When I said that I'm going to give this a chance, I meant it. I was going to give it a chance, because if it didn't work, then I could walk away and say, I followed every step. That year, Kristen was the #1 director in the entire Mary Kay America. So I thought, if I follow the #1 director in all of Mary Kay and it doesn't work, then this really doesn't work. She's just special. You know what I'm saying? But it did. So I wanted to see first that I could make money and see if that was real. And then the team building aspect was, I was in my way. What will people think of me? And you guys, I took some slack when I said yes. Remember, my friends had to tell me to help my eyebrows. But I was a corporate woman. I was making 6 figures as a nurse. I wasn't at the bedside. I was doing marketing and sales internationally, and I won't go into that right now. But and my mom was like, girl, you have got all these degrees that you've worked hard for, all these letters behind your name. What are you doing? Now, she saw it play full circle 5 years later, and maybe we'll go into that later. But, people gave me a hard time, and I wanted to make sure that I trusted the company, because I had studied direct sales prior, that I trusted my mentor, that I trusted the women, because when I walked into Mary Kay, I was hearing a lot about God. God was not that much in Angie's life 11 years ago. I had been very angry with God. Okay. And so to walk into an environment where you have women saying God first, and you're in a room with all these women and they're praying, I'm like, I don't know what this is. So I was really guarded. It wasn't until Kristen took me to $1 Million Weekend. And so, directors that are on here, and those of you that are in your directors teams, you might have heard them say, we're going to be $1 million unit. And we went to $1 Million Weekend, and I got to see other $1 Million directors, and I got to hear their stories. So I saw more women that I felt relatable to, that had been in corporate, that had shifted from corporate to doing Mary Kay. And I saw more of people's stories. And I felt it. I was like, this is really real. I had already made money. I had already sold product. And I was like, I've got to give this to everyone. But what I had to figure out is how to be vulnerable. I had to figure out how to be vulnerable and put myself out there. Not figure it out, but just do it. And I came home from that weekend, and I recruited my first 2 team members. And then it kind of started the whole, I was in DIQ and on target for my car. I think it was 2 months later. So, yeah.
So you had to really fall in love with feeling like you related to other people, but then also being willing to go, I got to really be honest and tell the truth of who I am. And that 2 people will love the most. Yep. Yes? Okay. And so what would you say was the greatest gift you got from directorship? We'll pause on the world of NSD right now, but what did you learn as a sales director? Because the truth is, you have a really impressive record just as a director. So what was the greatest gift in that
part? So I learned earning my first pink Cadillac. That, and part of the motivation for that, ladies, was there were some women that I wanted on my team, and they weren't going to have anything to do with me unless they saw the pink Cadillac. It was like I earned what was it then? The Malibu. It was the Malibu then, and then the Equinox. And, there was still, when are you going to earn that pink Cadillac? And so my motivation in earning that Cadillac was to get people to listen, to get people to pay attention. And what I learned in that season, and you guys, I was still working full time. I was still working 60 to 70 hours a week in that. I learned that I needed to leave my job. I learned that, just to be honest. One of the things that I learned also was how to get back up. So in those 4.5 years, I had other offsprings that went away. My recruiter and my director passed away in 2013. I didn't know what Mary Kay would look like without her. And I learned loss in this business and how to get back up and continue to move forward. And I think sometimes we get stuck on this team member who we really believe in, that maybe she doesn't go on, it's just for a season, or we get stuck on this awesome leader and life takes her a different path. And I needed to feel that. I needed to feel that as a director, because it's happened as a national sales director also. And what I figured out is that initially I thought people were leaving me, and they weren't leaving me. That was a hard lesson, Holly. It really was. It was hard. I also had to learn how to be humble. And what I mean by that is humble with giving people grace. And I'll just leave that piece there. I'm glad that I went on to, I wanted to experience a top director trip, Holly, because I wanted to be around those women. I was craving another level, and I felt that was where I should go before crossing over to national. So that was an experience for me too, but really loss. I had to feel that.
Yeah. Okay, that is so interesting. Okay, so let me ask you this. Tell me about, did you ever see your past, your childhood, your past and how you were raised? Did that ever creep in at any time as you were building?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, talk to me about that.
So, as a little girl growing up, when Holly asked if that had creeped in, so my parents got divorced when I was 13 or 14, but they separated when I was 11. And in saying that, money was tight. Let me just throw it out there. And so in telling my story, Holly, I got very comfortable with saying this opportunity can give women and their children more choices. And so I had to reflect on that a lot. I reflected on that in my childhood a lot. And that's how it came to my forefront a lot. And I'm going to be honest with you. My mom was at an event one time and heard me tell the story, and she got angry. We had some words after that. And I said, Mom, I don't tell that story. We were very blessed. Don't get me wrong, but I don't tell that story for people to feel that I had a bad childhood or something, because, I didn't. I tell that story because I never want another mom to be in front of their daughter and say, can't do ballet this year. Not going to happen. Or the water be turned off. I said, because I remember your face when you had to have those conversations with me. I remember going to work at 11 years old and mowing yards to give you some money. I remember at 14 getting that learner's permit and doing whatever I could to work. I was the child that worked after school versus activities, and I'm grateful for that. It's made me who I am today. I was the child that, I want you to know that I appreciate, I would not trade my childhood for anything, because I would not be the woman that I am today. And I speak that so other women understand what you didn't know then, that they could have choices with an opportunity such as Mary Kay, versus working 2 or 3 jobs where it's still not going to give you choices. It's just going to continue to take time away from your family. So it crept back a lot, Holly. And then when I had to talk about addiction, things with my dad, yeah, very much so. Very much. But that's what I had to overcome. And so until you're willing to tell the story, the whole story, that's where I had to be vulnerable, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, and sometimes we can feel like, and we don't have to tell the whole story. I want y'all to remember that. One thing Cindy Williams always says is I had a very colorful childhood. Yes. And she leaves it at that. Because she just needs people to know, like, hey, I know what you're going through. Mm-hmm. One thing, like this morning when Angie said, okay, Holly, woo, mornings, and I had to go back to that place for me with those mornings with newborn. I don't know why this is being crazy, y'all. Why the speaker it's only when I talk. Okay, I don't know, girls. I'll quit talking and let Angie talk though. Okay, I had another question for you. What do you feel like, how do you feel like your business impacted your husband? Has it in any way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he was the one, so we weren't married when I said yes to the Mary Kay opportunity. Remember I said he was from an entrepreneurial background. My husband's a chiropractor and he owned his practice. So by us becoming a Circle of Excellence unit, Holly, he was able to close his practice after having it for 7 or 8 years.
Angie, one second. Y'all don't forget this morning, I want you to comment as Angie is sharing. Comment what you're hearing, comment what you relate to, comment what you're taking away. And that just helps us kind of fuel the event this morning too. So, okay, Angie, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to remind them of that.
That's okay. He loves the trips. Like, he loves the trips. Like, when we went on our first Top Director trip, he was like, you were the sexiest woman ever. Like, he was like, oh my gosh, like, we're just not going to Myrtle Beach here, like, you know what I'm saying? And it allowed him choices so he could still practice as a chiropractor, but not have the responsibilities of everything with owning a practice. So he was able to close that in 2014. I had moved to another city with him, and in order for us to move back closer to my mom, that's another motivation where I became a Circle of Excellence director. I'm just being honest with you. It's also impacted him because he's watched me as a woman grow. He's watched his wife go from this person when we were dating to over here, and he's watched other women's lives be impacted because of mine. And he keeps up with my girls, he keeps up with my girls. So for him, it's given him more choices and more freedom. Also, our relationship with God has grown together because of our Mary Kay business. Yeah. Actually, it was one of my offspring sales directors that introduced us to the church that we go to now. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Y'all love Jesus. And I always say ministry and makeup, right?
Yeah, ministry and makeup.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank y'all for commenting. I forgot to tell y'all that in the beginning. Okay, Angie, who are you in 3 words? If you can pick 3 words, who is Angie Locke? Not just Mary Kay, not just wife, not just mom, but take all that away. Like, who are you?
I am a child of God. I am bold. And I am very loyal.
I see that. Okay, child of God, bold and loyal. Okay, I love it. Now, is that who you were when you said yes?
I didn't feel I was my relationship was not good. I will say that I wasn't as bold, but I've always been loyal.
Okay.
I changed bold to confident. How about that? Okay. I have confidence, but not, I've always been loyal though. Yeah.
Okay. My next question is, what have you learned about controlling your head? What have you learned about the words you say, your thoughts? Were you, is that something you were really good at in the beginning when you said yes, or do you feel like that's an area you've grown in?
Okay, so Holly, I learned to compartmentalize as an RN. So I used to run the code team when I was at the bedside, and you have to compartmentalize. And so now with saying that, because I got so good at compartmentalizing, I stopped allowing myself to feel certain things and places of pain. Okay. Okay. So as far as in and out of my head, I've always been really good at changing up my thoughts. But it wasn't until Mary Kay, until I think I heard Julia Burnett speak in 2012. And she talked about how you can reprogram your brain. And I don't know if you've heard of the book, what's it called? I'll send it to you for you to share with your team because I can't pull it right now. But I had heard that, but I hadn't heard it into practice, and I started reading. And it wasn't until I started reading that I realized that I was blocking myself with certain thought patterns, and things changed in my personal life and in my business life. Like I was doing good, but things really transformed. And that's when I believed that I could become a national, I'll say in the time frame that we did. I don't want to say quit. Yeah.
I mean, 4.5 years as a sales director, you guys, any of y'all on the phone today, debut and 4.5 years later becoming a national. I mean, it's impressive. It's close to the record, Angie, actually. I think the record is 3 years. So, I mean, it's impressive to me. My next question is today, let's fast forward today. As you're leading and mentoring, what do you feel like is the number one reason that women pause? Why do they pause and stop and not do it?
They're not clear on their vision. It's not big enough. I think I spoke on this other night. I did another thing with some other people, some other nationals, and the question was about vision and my next goal. You guys, Mary Kay is really good at dangling prizes in front of us. They're very good at it. Okay. They're very good at incentivizing us for whatever it is that we want to go for. And I wasn't accustomed to that in corporate. I mean, most people aren't. But one of the things that I had to step into is my race is not Holly's race. Okay. My path is not Holly's path. And when I say that, I had to step into my vision. I had to really step into what is it that I want. And I had to get clear on that. And women pause, I believe, when they're not clear. They say they are. We know how to stand up and say, I'm working on earning my red jacket. And I said this the other night, you guys, I never worked toward the goal of earning a red jacket. Red jacket was this pathway to national. You can't be a national without being a red jacket. Okay. You can't be a director without being a red jacket, you know? And so it was the next best step, but that was never my goal. Like my vision was red jacket wasn't going to support the ultimate vision, the ultimate why. And so we get really good at saying the right words because we've heard our mentors do it. You've heard your girlfriends do it. But I want to say you got to step back and you got to say, why did I truly say yes to this opportunity? Like I said yes so I can make some extra income, but I said yes because Kristen showed me how to be a national sales director on paper, what all the advantages of that was for my future. I saw the family security plan. No corporation's going to give you that. I got it. I totally got it. But it wasn't just that. And remember I told you my mom wasn't supportive. Let's fast forward. We're in NIQ. NIQ was hard on a personal level because everything was going on. Okay. My mom had a stroke, and I was at her bedside for 6 days, and she broke down. She said, "You haven't left my bedside for 6 days. Like, you've been on the phone. We were having accountability calls at 6:30 in the morning." And she said, "You haven't left me." And I said, "Mom, do you remember 5 years ago when you're like, I don't know why you're doing that Mary Kay thing?" And I said to you, "Mom, it's so I can be more present." I said, "It's for this moment right here today. I don't have to leave you. We're qualifying for the biggest goal ever in my Mary Kay career, and you're still first and foremost." She cried. She got it. It wasn't until 5 years that she got it. Fast forward 30 days later, my dad's in a motor vehicle accident, breaks his neck. It's April 30th, last day of the month. Like, NIQ was crazy, you guys. But I say that because my vision was not just to become a national and have a title, or become a director and have a title, or become a pink Cadillac director and have a title. I wanted the income. I wanted the choices that correlated with the income, because I'm not materialistic. I don't need a bunch of things. My son is here now, and that wasn't part of my vision initially. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. But for women to pay for infertility treatments, if they choose to go that route, or adoption, or things like that, you got to have cash. You've got to have cash. Most Americans don't have $1,000 in an emergency fund. I am not okay with that. I hope that you guys aren't. And so it was bigger. It wasn't about the suit. And I know for some people it is a suit. That wasn't the case for me. It was taking it to this level is going to help me design my life. But by me being at this level, I've got the platform to impact other women, to take them with me. I know that's a long answer, Holly, but.
No, I'm taking notes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me see. There was one thing right here you said. Okay, you said that women say the right words. Oh my gosh, look at this comment. "Thank you for allowing me to dream huge. I felt like I need to have a goal of the next step, but I can have a huge goal and use those steps to get there," with lots of crying emojis.
Yeah.
Oh, Angie,
Yeah.
the breakthroughs. I'm a big vision girl, always have been. And I do focus on the next step. I got to know the next step. The Angie, you are the same way. You got to know where you're going. Like, what am I doing? I got to know what's up next. Angie, today, fast forward to today and the world that we're living in today. How do they have that same big vision today? With so much uncertainty, what would you say? What would you say is your suggestion on how they can clarify that vision, maybe, and understand the next step, perhaps?
Okay, ladies, I'm going to be 100 with you. I got cloudy during this season, because of what's going on in the world, So let me share with you how I got a little bit clearer. Mary Kay, the company, has only enhanced what's available to us. So that has not changed, right? The compensation plan has been enhanced. Nothing has been taken away. Pay attention to that, because companies that are in trouble, they start to take stuff away. Mary Kay itself has grown substantially since March. So gather that information. I'm saying this to you so you feel, so you know that the company that you're with is secure, because that's not all the case. That's not the case with a lot of companies. Okay. How we do business has not changed. We're still about connection. We're still about ministry, right? How we gather is a little different. It's tough because we want to gather in person, and that was a huge shift for me. And so gathering through Zoom I'm trying to feel the same emotion that if I was talking to you in a big crowd, because that's where I get off. I'm just going to be honest with you. I like to feel the room's energy. I do. I like to feel the room's energy. And so that was a shift for me. And so I had to go inside my head of how do I bring the energy through a computer or through, a telephone. But the company itself hasn't changed. How we do business through connection hasn't changed, but how we go forward with the connection has changed a little bit. I think it's given us more choices. I think it's given more options. And sometimes with more options, a confused mind doesn't know what to do. Congratulations, ladies. You now have options. In 2015, finished in that national area, being at my mom's bedside, we weren't doing Zoom calls. I couldn't do Zoom facials in the hospital room. Congratulations, you can. And so if you can see this as now I have a gift of more ways that I can connect and channel in on my niche, right? On your truth, on your lane, right? Now you just have more possibilities out of this pandemic. I say possibilities in a pandemic. Okay. No, it didn't feel good at first. No, I do prefer in person, but how can I gain possibilities out of being virtual? And that's where you have to go to. I'm here in this season for whatever reason, and God has me here. And you have a national, because I've asked her this, and she's going to share it at Jumpstart. How have you led your people? Recognize the leader that you have has been assigned to you, and God knew that you ladies would need her before this came. Okay. How have you led your people through this? And go back to the Bible and read some stuff. Read Moses, read the story of Moses and Joshua. Then read Joshua. It's totally different. But how have you led your people through this? And you have a leader that is there to guide you through this, but knowing your truth, and you can find joy in anything. All we have gained is possibilities. You can be present in your home if you choose not to gather live. Some people are gathering live in a studio. That's up to you. You now have possibilities, and you can use those possibilities as an excuse to not move forward, or you can use those possibilities as to what they are as more choices for you to be successful. Got you.
You did. I'm writing so fast. Angie, the next and last question, you guys, if y'all have questions for Angie, type them in the comments for me. I love to do some questions. Angie, one thing I love about you is that you are who you are, and you embrace being you in your own skin. I mean, you are who you are, and I love that about you. It is the thing I struggle with the most. So I think I see it in other people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. And so how do they embrace love and being in their own skin? And y'all post some questions for her, okay?
That was tough for me growing up. So as a teenager, I didn't have always the designer clothes. Okay. I was different, but I was popular, if that makes sense. Like, I was popular, but some of my girlfriends, I wasn't like them. Okay. I did have a low self-esteem at one point in my life, and I had to learn how to embrace myself and overcome who I am. That's where the confidence started to shift. I am a power achiever, and I'm a power achiever so I can have more confidence in who I am. If I am not achieving, it's not good. It's just not good. So for me, winning and achieving some things, and it doesn't have to, it could be, hey, I learned how to write calligraphy. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel more confident in my skin. another thing to feel more authentically you is I had to start to realize that God designed me in his image. I'm not going to look like Holly. I'm not going to have the blonde hair and look like a blonde bombshell. And I've told her, I said, gosh, you are my girl crush. But, and I say that because she's beautiful inside and out. And so if I align myself with women who are beautiful on the inside, it's also going to allow me to be more authentically me. And I am me. And I don't apologize for being me. I cuss sometimes, you guys. I'm just going to be honest. I'm very vocal, you know, but that's who I am. And at first, when I came into Mary Kay, I thought, well, people accept me for who I am because I don't want to change who I am. I want to refine who I am, but I don't want to change who I am. And so this opportunity has allowed me to be really comfortable with who I am, because who I am is only going to reach the people that God has in store for me. That's why he led me to this vehicle. And if I change it, I'm in trouble. So I've got to be confident in who I am. Yeah.
So good. So good. Michelle said, realize God created me in his image. I was just listening to a sermon this week. Like, it's the only creation that God mimicked after himself. Not the skies, not the sun, not the water, not the animals, but he said he created man and woman in his image, right? Okay, Nikki has a question.
Okay.
How do you help other people
find their vision? Okay. Let me pull my notes. So purpose. So what comes first is purpose. Okay. Why we exist. And when you think about vision, here's some components. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to aim to achieve? What is it that you want? And vision is how you see your future. So I want to ask you now, I'm gonna be a little bold in saying this, okay? Sometimes as women, we play like we don't have vision. We play like we need to find our vision. Let me tell you why we play that. Because we're not willing to be vulnerable and visible with it. So I say that because I want you to go back to when you were a little girl, or I want you to go back to where you're driving down the road and you think of things, and you think of how you see your future, and you think of dreams that you've had in the past. That is part of your vision. When it becomes the time to make it visible to others, that's when we play small, because it requires us to be vulnerable. And so I want to say to you, you probably have a glimpse of what your vision is. And I can probably pull it out in about a minute. Holly can pull it out in probably about a minute. You just got to let it come through. Because here's the deal. Not everyone has vision, but something prompted you to say yes to Mary Kay. What was that? Can I ask what that was? It was Nikki that asked the question, Holly. Nikki, what prompted you to say yes to Mary Kay? And I'll see it when you type it. I think I will.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Okay. And it might be a little delayed, so we'll give it a second. And by your answer, we'll go somewhere else, and it'll prompt you to really think about that big vision. Is Nikki still with us? So what prompted you to initially say yes to Mary Kay? And she may be like, girl, I ain't typing that on here. Because sometimes sometimes it's being vulnerable. I get it.
Maria, what prompted you to say yes?
Yeah, what prompted you to say yes?
Or Shannon, whoever, Michelle. If all of y'all want to say it. Yeah, whoever.
just for exercise purpose.
They might be typing a whole lot.
Let me give you the book report real quick, right? Okay, I wanted more than what I had. I was a server in the National Guard. I was living small, wanting more. Okay, Nikki, more of what? What's more? And you said you were living small and you wanted more. Tell me, what's more? And so it's narrowing down. And the reason that I'm asking that, Nikki, it's narrowing down what is more. Like when you thought about, I want more in my life, what is more? Who told you you were living small? Did somebody tell you you were living small? Where'd you get that from, that you were living small? And so something has gone into your mind where you've had a vision of, I'm living small, I want more, but what is more? And so when you back that, when you kind of uncover, when you peel those layers, you'll see what your vision is. It's being vulnerable with yourself and then putting it out there. You probably know what your vision is, but you can do an exercise and kind of narrow it down. Now, your why changes, your vision changes. 11 years ago, my vision was not to have freedom and flexibility to be with my son. It was not to have a legacy for him. Ladies, I'm going to be upfront with you. Children was not on my forefront 11 years ago. If you would have said you're going to be a mom, no. So the vision evolved. I don't want to say it changed. It evolved. It extended more, if that makes sense. It extended. So once you have that clear vision and pulling out that vision, Mary Kay has given you a platform for the mission, the how. Mary Kay is the platform for the mission, the how, to carry out the vision. And goals are different than vision. Goals come from vision. Goals are a framework for your vision. Remember I said, of course, I wanted to be a national sales director, but that wasn't the vision. The vision was to be a national for X, Y, and Z that came with the position through the mission. And just like I said, my goal wasn't to be a red jacket and stay there. It was a stepping stone of that goal. It was just a stepping stone. And so for people, they stand up, they're like, I want to be a red jacket. Great. But that's probably not where you want to stay. It's a great place to be, but your vision's probably larger than what is received at the red jacket position. It's a taste, if that makes sense. Okay, MK gave me room to dream. I didn't dream. I was going to be a school teacher, like paycheck to paycheck. I didn't want that. Okay. So then you go to, why didn't you want that? I wanted to be more for my family. I wanted to give more. Okay. So I would say, what does being more to your family look like? Who do you want to give to? So there's 4 different organizations that I give to every month. What does it look like for you to write a check to your church? When you say give more? So I went into my mind of what it looks like to give more. What does it look like to be more for my family? What does it look like to not live paycheck to paycheck? So the only thing that I knew about living paycheck to paycheck, and Nikki, you may be able to relate, you may not, was my childhood. So when Holly asked, okay, I craved happiness, I was miserable, cried on the way to work. Okay. I just knew I was called to do more. Okay. You have more of a vision than you think you do. You do, Nikki. You're putting together the pieces of how to share it with people. You've got more of a vision than you think that you do. So kudos, girl. You're putting together the pieces of how to share it with people. And that requires vulnerability. And you know what? That I did as a consultant? I practiced my I story and how to speak in vision. I did not know how to do that prior to Mary Kay. It's a skill set. I learned that skill set from going from red jacket to director. Your dream book is a great tool to help you practice that, to help you practice speaking in vision, because that's what people want to hear and see. We're visual people, and your goals come from the vision, if that makes sense. So I hope that.
I'm writing so fast. You just said, hang on, you just said your goals are, what did you just say? Your goals are
the vision. They're just a framework. They're just a conceptual framework to help, just like we were saying. Nikki, you can say, I have a goal to sell $4,000 a month in product. Okay, where'd that come from? Well, I want to make $2,000 in profit because I want to give $500 to my church. I want to give $500 to this organization that helps animals. I want to take $500 and put it in savings. You know what I'm saying? So you know that you want to give to who? Who you want to give to? Because everybody wants, honey. They want it. They want it. They want it. You get to choose who you want to give to. Whatever resonates for you. I love your servant heart, because it's not every day that you hear people say, I want to give more. I want to give more. I can finally say pink Cadillac. I know. But NSD is so scary. Okay.
Fear of failure is very real for Nikki. So she can say this, but if she says that and it's a little bit bigger, if she stretches a little bit, she feels like she paralyzes and freezes. She says it.
So I would continue to say it, because doing brings confidence. But here's the deal. You said you want to give more. Well, there's only so much you can give at the level where you are. And so pink Cadillac might scare you, and it should a little, but not really. Here's what the pink Cadillac represents. Girlfriend, not only are you able to give, but your people are now making a certain amount of income. That's what the pink Cadillac is. The pink Cadillac means that you have a tribe of women who are successful alongside with you. Okay. You can earn a consultant car on your own. And I'm going to tell you, you can earn a Premier Club on your own. You can almost earn a Cadillac on your own. But with a Cadillac, what I knew, what came from earning my first pink Cadillac was women making money, women moving into red, women going on Target for cars. So it just wasn't me. The reason I say it's a trophy on wheels is because there's so many stories and dreams tied to that pink Cadillac. So Nikki, your income increases also when you're a pink Cadillac director. So girlfriend, you can give more. And then at the national level, you can really give more. And you can't do NSD by yourself. I'm going to share that with you. And so you have to ask yourself, what is paralyzing me to say this? Because Premier Club is leading a team of at least 50 people. And so Cadillac, you're just increasing it from 50 to 100. It's just more women that you're influencing. That's all that is. That's all it is. Can you just see it that way? I'm just growing my organization to lead more people to have choices. And that's where I got over my fear. That's where when I said Cadillac out loud, I was like, but is it too soon? Like I'm a brand new director, like, you know what I'm saying? But then I was like, no. I was like, it just means increasing my unit size to touch more people. That's all. That's it.
Oh, girl, our time has come to an end, but I seriously have like 5 pages of notes. I'm like, I'm writing down the time so I can go back and watch that part again. Thank you so much. I know your husband is like, he's babysitting this morning.
He's ready. I'm starting to hear some cries.
Me too. And I'm like, I know I got to let you go. I can keep you all day. I love being with you. Thank you for just the spirit and the joy and the Jesus. And the vision that you bring today. I so appreciate you, Angie Locke. I love being in your space. I get to see you in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm so excited. I keep looking at the calendar like, oh my God, I don't have that long left to come see y'all. Oh, so it's going to be so fun. One thing that I've been saying is once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. And to me, Angie, you are the epitome of that. Once you became fearless, you really became limitless and became a national in 4.5 years. I mean, it just blows my mind. So thank you for your excellence. I love being your sister. So many takeaways. And you guys, please post your takeaways. Angie, thank you so much. You are free to sign off. We just love and appreciate you so much. Thank you, girl. Have a great day. Bye. You guys, please post your comments for Angie so I can send her this link. Please post your takeaways before I end the broadcast. We do. I will send her address to your directors. When you're a new mom and you hear the baby start crying, it's like, your boobs fill up with milk and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta go. So I could feel it. And I know we kept her on a while this morning, but y'all just comment your main takeaway. This is so good. And Nikki finished with, give more to my little girl. I want her to have the world and be able to give enough to build a home through the Habitat for Humanity. You guys, I hope y'all learned today and got to watch when Angie was dissecting. And so it's just like when people say, I want to be a director, and I say when. And they'll say, this fall, or I want to move up, or I want to make money. Well, how much money? And so I hope y'all saw Angie do that today. And she broke every little piece down into something that was measurable. And that's what we have to learn how to do, because you can't have a goal until you can measure what you want, right? And so as you girls are processing and deciding, okay, what is my goal? It's mid-December. Were you clear walking into this month exactly what you wanted, so that when the month finished, we know if you got it or not? That's what we've got to know, you guys. And so I just want to wish you and your family health and wellness this season. I hope you are all staying safe. I do want to remind you that we do have January Jumpstart coming up. It is right here. In January. It's actually the 4th Saturday. It's going to be that Friday, Saturday. Angie's senior director, Kristen Myers, is coming in for that event. So I hope y'all all have your spot reserved. I hope you have your team members coming. And if not, handle that today. Angie certainly did, Maria. That right there takes the cake. Thank you so much for sharing from your heart and opening our eyes and opening our hearts. You guys, the possibilities are truly endless in this opportunity. And so I just want to challenge y'all today. If you're not walking into the new year with a clear vision, put your face on the floor, y'all. Pray for God to clarify your vision. But I promise you, if you'll sit down and treat yourself like Angie just did and just write down what it is that you want, is that measurable? If it's not, ask yourself those questions. Y'all, thank you for being on today. Thank you for making today a priority. I appreciate you being here. So y'all have an amazing Saturday. This makes me want to go make booking calls, y'all. I love it. I'm so inspired. But remember that you're going to live on that borrowed belief from Angie Locke for 48 hours. So you've got to get into action so you can create your own belief from your own activity. Okay. So you guys, love y'all big. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Have a great Saturday. Happy December.